Hey, it's JC. Welcome to Urban Knife Guy, where we explore the urban lifestyle and the jungle survival. Today we're going to have a really fun video because I'm going to highlight 5 pieces of urban EDC gear that the average person does not need. First, if you watch this channel regularly but have not subscribed, please do so to help the channel out. Thanks. In a previous video, I talked about functional EDC and lifestyle EDC, and that was really to separate between what you need and what you want. And today I'm going to talk about 5 pieces of very popular urban EDC gear that you see all the time on YouTube and Instagram, but I don't think the average person needs it. Do you want it? Possibly, and I'll never tell you how you should spend your money. If you want it, go ahead and do it, but make sure you know that you don't need it. So let's get started. The first piece of unnecessary urban EDC gear, I think, is the EDC Pry bar. I don't get it. Yes, I have a few. I've even got a pretty titanium one, which I have for my titanium loadout pouch. But have I used it? No. Do I need it? No. Did I want it? Definitely. However, I don't really see a real heavy use for this for the average person. Of course, and this applies to all the gear I'm going to talk about. If you have a particular job, you're in a particular trade that requires certain tools, then of course then you would need it. I'm really talking about the average person who's carrying this every day just to perform their everyday tasks, and not necessarily even talking for a emergency or survival situation where you've prepared a kit for that. We're just really talking about EDC, and specifically urban EDC. So something like this looks cool. It's small and compact, can fit in a pocket or a pouch, but really, what is this going to do for you? Yes, you could pry open, I guess, a tin can if you need, but you could probably also use the screwdriver from the Victorinox Swiss Army knife, which would be a better EDC and something you would probably carry. But as an everyday piece of gear, I don't think so. The next piece of gear, it's not really a specific piece of gear, but it's the blade steel of folding knives. Do you need super steel for your urban EDC folder? And my contention is the average person does not. Now, what is a super steel? Honestly, it will change over time as new metals and steels are developed. In fact, by the time this video ends, some super steels will be obsolete and no longer be a super steel anymore. But I've got some blades over here just to go through quickly. I've got 2 knives here. They are budget blades, and the blade steels are HCR14 MOV, which is a Chinese steel equivalent to 440B. This is a D2 steel from the QSP Penguin. This is VG10, and these 2 would be considered the super steel range. We have S45VN for the Spyderco Para 3, and we've got 20CV for this Benchmade Foray. Of course, now we have LMAX, we have Crewwear, we have Magna Cut, of course, which is all the rage now. But do you need it for the average person? Honestly, you don't, because all these steels were considered very good steels at one time and were used to cut your everyday items, paper, tape, cardboard. While the steels has improved, has paper, cardboard, or tape increased in the hardness or the strength that you require super steel to cut? Well, the main thing about super steels, of course, then would be edge retention or superior rust resistance. Again, how much are you cutting every day that will require something with superb edge retention? I mean, with most of these knives, you will not need to sharpen them every day, unless you're cutting a lot every day, but the average person may be using their knife a couple times a day. Some people may not even use their knife once a day. Now, I would agree with the more budget steels, let's say HCR14 MOV and below, edge retention is quite poor. You would use it just for a day or two, especially if you are involved in moving or you're packing and you just require to cut tape, cut cardboard, then you would find this dulls very fast, but it's easy to sharpen. Whereas with the super steels or the more premium steels, yes, edge retention is better, but you're going to spend more time sharpening, so you have to kind of balance it. While I fully agree that super steels are superior to your regular steels, the question is the price worth it? Is it needed for you if you want to buy a folder? My contention is no. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for the next item, but it's the Kipic Pliers, the Cobra XS. I don't even have one, so I'll put a picture on screen. This has been the rage for the past year or two. Everyone seems to think it's the perfect EDC item, even though they're not a plumber. And unless you have a specific need for it, maybe you have a road bike or mountain bike, you need a set of pliers that this works for, or again, you're in a trade which needs it. Why would an average person need to carry this particular pliers? Since I do not have a pair of Kipic Pliers and do not intend to buy one, just for fun, I went out to buy an adjustable spanner. Now, not this one, I actually bought a much smaller one for EDC, but it's currently in another country, not here with me. But I carried it for 2 weeks just to see if I would use it, and I never used it, at least for my day-to-day activity. And I was also interested to see why this Kipic Pliers got so popular. I believe it was more of a social media trend where people were pushing it on YouTube and Instagram, and it just caught on. So I looked at the Google Trends analytics for the past 5 years, and sure enough, you can see that the interest for Kipic Pliers Cobra XS only spiked in August 2022. Now, with some digital research, I probably could find out which was the first influencer who pushed it, but I didn't bother. But if you know, please let me know in the comments below. The fourth piece of gear on my list is the EDC Hank. That's right, a handkerchief, which is basically a pocket square, generally about 10 inches by 10 inches. On one side, you get a very nice, pretty pattern, and on the other side, you usually have a microfiber cloth or some kind of suede. Now, I agree these are very pretty, great for Instagram photos, but do you need them and do you actually use them? I have them, I carry them, and honestly, I couldn't bear to use them because I didn't want to get them dirty. So I'm not sure if you really need them. Tell you what I need, and I think it's more useful for the average person, something like this. So just wet wipes. This is something I actually use and need. Yes, definitely not as pretty, but maybe I should come up with an EDC wet wipe holder. That will probably be a hit. And the final item on my list is the weatherproof notebook. Why would you need this for urban EDC? I know a lot of people like to carry a tactical pen, and it's got the Fisher pen insert inside so you can write anywhere, and I have one inside here. But in an urban environment for EDC, why do you need waterproof field notes? Why are you writing in the rain in the city? Get to shelter, use your phone, and make a digital note. Now, if you're going out to the wilderness and the jungle, I get it. I carry a waterproof notepad when I go out as well, because you might need to take notes, you might need to draw ad hoc map, you might need to write a message, and it could be very wet outdoors, you don't have the shelter. But for urban EDC, I don't get it, and I don't think the average person needs it. There you have it. Those are my 5 pieces of urban EDC gear that I think the average person does not need. Do you disagree or do you agree? I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate comments, but go ahead. I'm all for it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.